You ever just finish scrolling through one of your feeds, close the app, and just feel kind of gross? Almost like you've been eating digital junk food. It's this nagging feeling I think a lot of us have.
Yeah, it's this constant low-grade exhaustion. The whole experience just feels fundamentally broken, right? Today, we're going to pull on that thread. We're going to see if we can figure out exactly why it feels so off. Okay, so I think the first place to start has to be the feed itself. I mean, it's supposed to be your feed, your window into the stuff you care about. But let's be honest, it never really feels that way, does it?
No way. Mine is just this endless stream of stuff I never asked for. Content from accounts I've never heard of, topics I have zero interest in, and so many opinions that seem designed just to make you angry. It's all just rage bait. It's all just farming for engagement. It's exhausting.
And you have to remember, none of this is by accident. This is the algorithm doing exactly what it was designed to do. And that algorithm, it doesn't care if you're happy or learning something or feeling connected. It has one and only one goal. Keep your eyes on the screen. It's sorting for stickiness, not for quality.
Which of course brings us to that old saying that's more true now than ever. If you're not paying for the product, you are the product. Our attention is the commodity being sold to advertisers. We're not the customers here. We're the inventory. And once you really truly internalize that, everything that feels broken about these platforms starts to make a whole lot of sense.
But wait, how did the entire system get built this way to begin with? It actually goes all the way back to the very foundation of the modern internet. It all starts with one incredibly tempting and, as it turns out, incredibly dangerous price tag.
Zero. That's it. It costs absolutely nothing to create an account, to post a thought, to get a voice. And that one simple fact has these huge, system-breaking consequences that we're all living with.
Just think it through. If it cost even a single penny to create an account, how much harder would it be to build a bot army of 10,000 fake accounts? It would suddenly get expensive. But in our zero-cost system, it's not just easy, it's trivial. Bot armies and fake engagement aren't just a possibility, they're the logical, inevitable result of the system's design.
You know, there's actually a technical name for this. It's called a Sybil attack. It's when one bad actor creates thousands of fake identities to completely overwhelm a network. And it's only possible because creating those identities is free. Every spam filter, every prove you're not a robot puzzle, it's all just a band-aid on this fundamental wound. The system is vulnerable because it costs nothing to participate.
Okay, so because participation is free, the system gets flooded with noise, bots, and low-quality content. So now you need something to sort through this giant mess. You need an algorithm. And this brings us to the next big question. Who is that algorithm really working for?
And right here, this is the chain reaction that explains everything. Step 1, free leads to a flood of content. Step 2, an algorithm is needed to sort that flood. Step 3, advertisers pay to keep the lights on. Step 4, so the algorithm sorts for what advertisers want, engagement at all costs, which leads to the unavoidable conclusion. You are not the algorithm's customer.
This whole system just completely breaks how we think about things like influence or reputation. Look at this. Creator A has a massive 100,000 followers, but each post gets like 200 likes, barely a ripple. Then you have Creator B with only 5,000 followers, but they get way more engagement. Their audience is actually paying attention. So who has the real reach here? It's clearly B, but the platform rewards that big, meaningless number. Follower counts are basically a lie. It just hammers home the point that all these metrics were trained to chase. Followers, likes, upvotes, they're all measuring the exact same shallow thing, fleeting attention. They tell you nothing about quality, nothing about expertise, and certainly nothing about real-world impact. The whole system is a scale that only knows how to weigh clicks. So when you start stacking all of this up, piece by piece, it stops looking like a series of bad design choices. It starts to look a lot more like a machine that was intentionally built for a very, very specific purpose, right? And it makes you ask that really fundamental question. When you share your photos, your ideas, your work, your life, who is actually capturing the value that you're creating? Because think about it. You create the content, but the platform owns how it gets distributed. You build the audience, but the platform owns your list of followers, your social graph. Every like, every comment, every scroll is just more data for them to package up and sell. You do all the work of creating value,
and the entire system is designed to extract that value from you.
And let's be super clear here. This isn't some backroom conspiracy. It's just a business model. It's how it works. For an ad-based platform to make money, it has to be an extraction machine. It's the only way the numbers add up.
So all of this makes you wonder, what if the entire premise is flawed? What if the internet we built is based on asking the completely wrong question from the very beginning?
And there it is. That's the one. The entire internet as we know it is basically a giant engine built to answer a single question: what got the most clicks? And the world we got as a result is noisy, it's shallow, and it is incredibly easy to manipulate. Because clicks are cheap. They're meaningless. They're so easy to fake. But what if? What if you built a system around a different metric? What if instead of clicks, you measured commitment? A real, deliberate action that proves something actually matters to someone. Something that has a cost, something that's meaningful.
No, seriously, just imagine that for a second. If your feed was sorted not by what was best at grabbing a split second of attention, but by what people genuinely demonstrated a real commitment to, would it look anything like the feed you have on your phone right now? I seriously doubt it. It would have to be completely different.
So, a system that's built on commitment, not just clicks, something that actually reflects what we value, instead of just what we glance at. Wow, I mean, if somebody were actually building something like that, would you want to be one of the first to use it? Because I think I would. I think I'd be at the front of the line.